This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Masters of the Universe Horde Trooper Prime figure, the Guardsman of Doom Tower, Hover Robot Prime included, which is kind of weird because the Hover Robots were Skeletor's thing, not Hordak's. I don't think Hordak had many robot things at all. It was all Horde Troopers. This is just a bunch of reused parts. Well, we got an arm from the Hordak that was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. We've got Trapjaw's rifle, and then we've got Robato's claw, gun, and axe in there as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the side here. We see the Horde robot using the Robato's axe. The Horde robot using... On the other side, we have the Hover bot. And on the back, we've got... Honestly, this is really similar to the back of the package for the Masterverse Horde Trooper. At least that's what it really reminds me of quite a bit. I do kind of like it though still. The color scheme on this is really nice too. We see the play features here. The hoverbot's got a stand to replace the different arms. And of course the armor pops apart. Aww. We just get a cardstock thing, not the actual comic. Okay, well, let's take a look at the hoverbot here. Pretty much what you expect. I find myself kind of wondering if they reused the hoverbot from Classics for this, making it just a straight carryover. But I'm not 100% sure, and unfortunately I packed all mine away, but I am thinking that this might actually be a direct carryover. The head does spin around. It is difficult to do. Arm articulation, right? We've got a hinge so we can go up and down and we can spin. There is an elbow articulation here. Not quite 90 degrees. And the hand can spin. Or I should say the little blades thing. Because it's got like clawed blade and the fan blade for cutting. Two different hands. And they do pop off. And that is it for the articulation, and it comes with a stand. The stand is kind of the reason why I'm wondering if this is actually a direct reuse from Classics, because the stand is different than what we got with the with anything else in Origins, but it does remind me directly of the kind of stands that we got in Classics. The Horde Trooper here, I'm kind of wondering how the cape is actually attached to this thing. But overall, it looks like it is mostly reused parts from the Trooper, with the arm from the one Hordak. So this is his cannon, which I never was a fan of this design of the cannon for Hordak. But that is a full arm right there on that one. We get a second arm, which again, Horde Trooper bicep. And it looks like it is Robato's forearm. Which it is a really tight fit there, so it's hard to kind of move. The Robato axe, Trapjaw's gun, which does not actually fit in there particularly well. As you can see, the peg on that is a lot bigger than on the Robato parts. Robato's gun. and Roboto's Claw. Honestly, I'm surprised this worked at all, because I didn't think that they were actually compatible with each other. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint and can spin around and look all over the place. Though you can't really see what's going on most of the time because of the collar. Arm hinges up and down. We can rotate forward and back a little bit. But of course, the armor design does fully interfere with the movement. We do have a joint in the elbow so we can spin, and it can bend in the 50, or not quite 90 degrees, but it is a single joint. Very similar. Actually, I'd say we're actually getting less range of motion than we get with the original arms. You can spin them around at the waist. Can kick up so far. Can kick back actually pretty far. Single joint at the knee. Feels like it wants to break, however. And a boot cut. And then a hinge at the ankle and a spin a little bit. But again, the design of the boot keeps it from fully spinning. As mentioned before. Okay, so the armor's not working properly. And I am thinking that this might be a little too short there. Let's take a look at the back here. Oh, well, we know how the cape's attached. It's attached at the shoulder parts. Let's go ahead and take those off too while we're at it right now. So we just got the torso here. And let's give this a try again. There we go. Finally, we got it to work. I'm just going to say none of the other Horde troopers I have was that difficult to push it. That's why I am kind of thinking that maybe that peg there is too short. I mean, it doesn't wiggle here, so it should be right there. But yeah, none of the other Horde troopers I have that much difficulty pushing it, so I don't know what's wrong with that. As we mentioned, the cape was attached via the arms. Which I grant them was actually a creative way to do that. It does mean you have to be a little bit more considerate when you're putting him back together. And of course, because we had that cape on there, you know, there's sticky residue all over the cape and it keeps sticking on itself. I don't know. I think the tape is actually worse than when they use the little plastic tabby thingies. Because while the tabby thingies might leave a small hole in there, the tape leaves a shit ton of residue. Actually, and let's see. We would switch out the arm. I guess in actuality, we're going to have to open up the trooper in order to switch out the arm with the cape. I have this fear that I positioned my camera badly. And that I'm not catching a lot of this right now. Alright, here we go. Got the Horde Trooper back together with the alternate arm. Now again, while the top of the biceps, or the top of the bicep, well, the biceps are the same on both. There's a different elbow. It is really tight. But yeah, overall, I mean, this isn't too bad. As far as reuse goes, I think this was a creative route to do it, and I think the color scheme turned out really nice. I don't know why the pop open feature is working so poorly on here. Originally, I thought it was the cape, but maybe not. Let's see. All right, that worked a little bit better than previously, but it's still, well, the cape obviously didn't let it open up all the way. Again, I'm not a big fan of this blaster arm. I think they went for going for too detailed for Hordak, you know, rather than going with a more accurate from the animation model. Well, let's take a look at the Horde Trooper Prime card. It's a nice picture on the front. Looks like it's getting ready to blast. On the back, the evil Horde, Horde Trooper Prime, Guardsman of Doom Tower. Honestly, I would think they were actually the troopers for Horde Prime would have made more sense than the Guardsmen of Doom Tower. But, yeah, whatever. They are the best of the best. That's not saying much with Horde troopers. They are the best of the best, the deadliest of the deadly. They are the Horde Trooper Prime, the self-replicating elite high-security soldiers of Doom Tower and personal guards of Hordak. Avoid battle with them at all cost. Self-replicating elite security soldiers? So, out of curiosity, seriously, how do you have elite robots? Like, we've burst a moped. We know he's a robot inside in this case, that they are robots. Even though that was real questionable in the cartoon. Like, why would you not put the programming from this thing or the design or all the design elements of this thing into your regular troopers? Like, why would you have a set that you call elite when you literally are building them and self-replicating? So that means they can keep going and building themselves over and over again, right? So again, why are not all the troopers this thing, right? That's one of those little bits of information that don't make sense, you know? You go ahead and you try to put together some lore and then you kind of it up. Anyway, I think that'll conclude our look at the Horde Trooper Prime. Let me know what you think. I think he does look cool. I like the color scheme on this one. I think it would have been nice, though, if we gotten an arm with a... Well, I'm not a big fan of the fists on this one either, to be perfectly honest. Because, like, the other Horde Trooper can't hold his damn weapon very well. So, actually, let's stick with the Roboto thing. I think it looks good. I'm kind of surprised, though, that they didn't just give us both arms like that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please feel free to subscribe. Please feel free to leave me a like. I appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace and love. And is he wearing a thong?